Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, karibu sana. There's this movie on Netflix called Luckiest Girl Alive. The storyline is about this girl who was sexually abused when she was a teenager, and so we get to see her navigating through her life, her womanhood, her marriage, her career, everything else. The thing that stood out to me about this case of sexual abuse is how much they add the details of the experience she had when she was a teenager. Trigger warning, by the way, because you get to see her in action, just begging, please, no, stop, no, wait, don't do this, please, no, I don't want to. And I think what that registered for me is the level of injustice she had gone through as a teenager. So eventually, in her adulthood, she grew up to be a very angry person. She would constantly react with so much anger about some of the smallest things, and she would get enraged. So what I realized as I watched it is that she wasn't really angry at her boyfriend. She wasn't really angry at the taxi driver. She was just angry at her childhood abuser. Watching that movie was like looking into a mirror because I saw myself. I saw how sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm just feeling irritable. I'm just feeling really angry, and the slightest thing can set me off. The thing about life is that we are supposed to have experiences, experience them, and then let them go. Move to the next experience. But sometimes when experiences are too heavy to bear emotionally and psychologically, we're not able to let it go. If anything, we carry that experience internally. I mean, cellularly, neurobiologically. It's in your body. And I know this because sometimes when I'm feeling angry or really fearful or anxious about something, I start experiencing acidity in my stomach, or constipation, or just heartburn. Your body feels that it is out of balance. Say, for example, as a child, you witnessed your father beating your mom. You witnessed gender-based violence in your own home. And as a child, you couldn't do anything. You could just stand there and cry in helpless despair because there's nothing you can do to control that moment. But the moment is filled with injustice. And as a child, you feel angry. Why are you doing this? This is wrong. No, stop. But you see, because as a child, you're helpless in that moment, the only way you can literally survive from that situation is by disassociating from the experience and then suppressing your feelings. But suppressing your feelings is like holding a balloon underwater. Either of two options is going to happen. One is that it will burst inside the water, or it will float up to the air. So when you're driving in traffic and then someone cuts you off and you go off and you just start calling them names and you're just insulting them, you're not mad at them for cutting you off. It's like you have what Michael Singer in his book Untethered Soul calls an inner thorn. Imagine having a thorn that pricked you in your skin. All your efforts become trying to protect that thorn, because every time that thorn is touched by something, you wince in incredible pain because it hurts. And that inner thorn is put there by our early childhood experiences if they were unpredictable, uncontrollable, and prolonged. That's what we call trauma. And see, we carry that shit. I carry that shit. I know you relate. We carry this energy inside. Think of the brain as the hardware, and then the mind as the software. So you have the hardware of a computer. When you were a child, a software was programmed into your hardware. And the software came from all the experiences you went through until where you are today. Most impactful experiences, though, are those you had between the ages of 0 to 7, because your brain waves were in hypnosis. You were hypnotized, literally. You just took in everything like a magnet. When your subconscious mind carries this information, how it is expressed in your body is through emotions. You experience sadness, despair, hopelessness, fear, jealousy, pain, uncertainty, anxiety. It's inside you, and it's literally the remnants of those past experiences. And this is something I have learned about myself too. And as I learn, I am growing into releasing that pain of the past, because it makes me realize that I don't want to live an angry person. I don't want to be an irritable person. And consciously, with my cortex, I may say, you know what? I will never shout at my children. I will never make my children feel a certain way. I will never want my spouse to feel like they're my punching bag or my emotional toilet. I want to show up better. But subconsciously, there's the one who is running the show, right? She is the one running the show. So if when I was a child, my father used to shout at me, and I carried that energy, the sadness, the helplessness, the injustice, the anger of why, what's going on here, and I didn't manage to unravel the experience and let go of it. If I couldn't do that, then almost by law of cause and effect, I am going to shout at my child. I am going to cause my spouse pain. So I am learning how to change that software, to upgrade the software. Remember the laptop? What happens when you upgrade the software of a laptop? Right? It works better. There's more speed. You probably get more space. It works better. That's it. Upgrading the subconscious mind and reprogramming it with information that causes my internal experience to be that of joy, that of peace, that of love, that of compassion, that of wealth, that of grace, that of love, just love, pure unconditional love. And how do I do this? I'm gonna share. 1, alchemize the situation. That's where we talk about inner child healing. Go back to the experience. Say, for example, you're the kid who observed your parent putting his hands on your other parent. Go back there, and it's going to be hard. Literally sit in meditation and go back into that moment, and then look at yourself as a child, because you're right there. You can see yourself, you can see the anger, you can see the helpless, you can see how much you're crying and snot is pouring almost into your mouth. It's a difficult experience, but you can speak life to them. You can alchemize that situation by making your inner child feel safe, by making them feel heard, by making them feel understood. Maybe you can even visualize a hug, or wrapping them in a color that they love so much, and just speaking life into them like you would your own child. What would you tell your daughter if she was in that experience? What would you quote and say? Say it. That way you change your perspective of the situation internally. The other way we alchemize these emotions is when they come up. Be present. Be present for yourself. Sometimes it's really hard to be present, because when you're feeling angry, you almost want to push it to the side. It's uncomfortable. It makes you wince in pain, and nobody likes pain. At least as human beings, as mammals, we don't like pain. We actually prefer pleasure. So it's going to be hard to see to those emotions sometimes. But when you find yourself, okay, you're in the supermarket, this lady got your order wrong, or she packed your food the wrong way, and now you're just going cuckoo about it. Come back home in your body. Be present for yourself. Experience those emotions. What is the visceral reaction? How does anger feel in your tummy? How does it make you feel in your heart? How does your heart beat? How do you feel? Just process that moment and be one with it. You can even talk to the emotion and say, you're welcome here. You're welcome here. You're welcome into my heart space, and experience it, and then let it go. That way it goes away forever. I've tried this shit, man, I'm telling you. And you get lighter and lighter and lighter. The other one is what we talked about, reprogramming your subconscious mind. And how do you do this? Beautiful question. 1 is before you go to sleep. You see that moment before you go to sleep and after you wake up, your brainwave state is in alpha. So in that moment, you're almost hypnotized. Whatever information you input at that moment could literally change your life. I mean, it could actually change your life. And this is what all the success coaches have been trying to tell us all this time. All these books, they all talk about how you are the creator of your reality. It's that subconscious mind. If you can tap into that moment before you go to sleep and when you wake up, if the last thing you do before you go to bed is check your phone, Come. Let's stop that shit, okay? And I'm talking to myself too. Let's stop that shit. Before you go to bed, make sure that you're vibrating on a high vibration. Whether you're gonna play affirmations or a frequency, or just have your own fantasies, seeing yourself living your dream life and just feeling really happy and content about what God has done in your imagination. Whatever route you're going to use, increase your vibration, because your subconscious mind takes it. Your subconscious mind takes it as truth, and it uses that to reprogram you on a physical and emotional level. Prayer and meditation. I cannot close this video without saying that you have to be in that theta brainwave state. You know what meditation does? Most of the times during the day, we are using our cortex, our conscious mind, to process all the input that is going on. And when you're using your conscious mind, most of the times you're vibrating on beta brainwave, which is very active. But when you go deep in meditation, when you breathe in deep and out, in and out, you alter your vibration of consciousness. Then now you open the window to your subconscious mind. So whatever that reality is you want to create, whatever those emotions are that you want, you talk to your higher self about it, your source of life, and your source of life always responds. Thank you so much for being here all this time. I really deeply appreciate you. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Please subscribe if you like this kind of content, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.